Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the PRL Novice Winter 2021 split, where we are in the championship match, and Smashbarn is up 2-0 off the back of some impressive macro plays over their opponents in Death Cards. Both teams coming out of the Solar Division here, where they went 1-1 in the regular season. My name is K-Bot. I am joined by Battle Dance, and we are looking at a little bit of an interesting position here. Death Cards now have to win the next 3 to take the crown.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for a reverse sweep in this series. Always very exciting when a game or when a series goes to 4 or even 5 games. That means it's very close. And speaking of very close, Death Cards have finally gotten close enough to the Corky button to ban it, and so that is finally out of the game. Majnu not able to play his, I'm not going to call it one trick, but definitely one of his most comfortable champions. But we do see he is on that Anivia, which is a champion that is typically banned out against him, one that he has been shown to be very strong with. And we see Ezreal being picked as a counter pick into the Anivia.
Yeah, Ezreal, wait, that even surprised me, and I saw the pro draft. I don't know why I just didn't think about that, but yeah, Ezreal coming into the mid lane here, which is going to be interesting for Banana Uyu, perhaps opting for a little bit of that extra range. I know that's something we were talking a little bit while we were watching this pro draft, is that this Anivia is going to be certainly very pesky at, at a range, right? And so maybe that Ezreal can try to do a little bit more, especially poking from afar.
And I think a lot of it comes down to a lane matchup, right? Anivia really annoying with that wall, just able to put it down and sort of generate her own terrain. Make sure that you can either get a successful gank off because of the wall. Maybe it pushes Udyr a little bit closer, or a little bit helps close the gap to some champions. But Ezreal, one champion that can actually mitigate that wall. He has the E to sort of have that pseudo flash over it. Ezreal's E, definitely a strong ability, and I think it works very well. And as we see the rest of these picks coming through, fairly standard bot lanes, of course, we go back to the classic Xayah Kai'Sa that we were talking about earlier in the series, and then Alistar Rel. Rel, a bit of a new player on the block, but very strong engage on the side of Death Cards. Is that Rel pick, but she's about the only engage that they've got, considering they have 380 carries and a Mordekaiser for the rest of their squad.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things I think that we were talking a little bit about, even in game 1, right, was that neither one of those teams really had a lot of engages, and so we're really going to be looking towards Mirth on this Rel, see if they can try to find those for Death Cards moving forward. But I mean, as we look at this overall, I think one thing haven't talked a ton about was the top lane matchup. Mahar actually picks the Mordekaiser away from Jermkin. Jermkin opting for that Aatrox, which is going to be a little bit more of an interesting and bombastic top lane than what we're used to seeing out of these two.
Yeah, last game was definitely just two tanks smacking each other for about 15, 16 minutes until laning phase was over. But this game, going to be a lot about that 1v1. Aatrox and Mordekaiser, both dangerous champions when they get ahead. And I think both have the tools to get ahead. You know, they have the Udyr and the Graves. Udyr giving a lot of early damage, as well as that bear slap, getting that big stun in onto Mordekaiser. And then Graves just providing a lot of damage in the near sight onto Aatrox. I think junglers have a lot of ability to affect this top lane matchup, and considering the mid lane matchup is so we'll call it handshaky, Anivia kind of just wanting to push the lane and then perhaps roam, or just perhaps take good bags, and then Ezreal just wanting to get a lot of poke damage out and play very safe. I think that junglers may be looking towards either the top or bot lane as to where they want to affect on the map.
I think the other thing too, as we're talking about these junglers, right, is that even Udyr, once we start to get after this level 6, you know, we saw it even in game 1, Mordekaiser is going to have an R button, right? So hopefully that'll be a little bit less pressure that will be taken towards that top lane. But of course, Udyr, we know, very strong, certainly can try to run out a lot of these champions from multiple different sides of the map. If we had to say what's going to be the most impactful champion, if you had to pick one of these 10, what's going to be the most impactful champion in the game?
I think, bar none, Anivia going to be the most important champion in this game. I think that in terms of what she can do in a team fight and how easily she can shut down everything that Death Cards wants to do. Mordekaiser, Graves, Kaisa, Rel, they all are these champions that want to go forward, and Anivia is a champion that can just stop that immediately with the wall, with the ultimate. Just being able to freeze people, stun people, wall them up from their team, going to be such a big player in these team fights. And we'll have to see if Majnu can pilot this champion, which he is famous for, in that way. And so I think if he is able to pilot the Anivia to effect, I think he will be almost a game winner in this game.
Is famous for was banned in the first 2 games, left open in favor of the Corki that was banned away in this game 3. We'll have to see if Majnu can make that big of an impact on the game for this squad of Smash Barn, as they're looking to take the championship right here, right now.
Oh, yeah. Are we talking about losing control? I'm gonna show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wondering. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh. I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh. I like losing control.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some look down, others see. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is
It's game 3 and potentially the final one of the PRL Novice Winter 2021 split. My name is K-Bot. I'm joined by Battle Dance on the mic. Before we get into the game too far, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to HahaFunnyMan _ on Twitch and Jasper George at jasper-george.com. And you can also use the code ROGUE or PRL Rogue at rogueedge.com for 10% off of your order. Almost messed it up there, but not quite. I think you could fool me, brain. Nice try. But thank you to our sponsors so much for their consistent support of the Phoenix Rising League. And if you too would like to provide your own support, you can do so by hitting that subscription button and joining the Phoenix Sub Club. We will get some fantastic benefits for subscribing, such as a merchandise discount, among other things. And I believe if you are subscribed for 3 months, you will get a sticker for free. So be sure to do that. You can also subscribe for free with your Prime Gaming account. But now, as we look into this Battle Dance, I think the general consensus among us sitting right here is that we are a little less excited about this game than the previous one, just looking at the draft.
Yeah, I was joking around with people in chat. Of course, I mean we're gonna have to watch the game to see who actually wins. But I did say looking forward to interviewing Smash Barn after this game. I think this one a lot of things are gonna have to go right for Death Cards. I think that like they were talking about in chat, they're going to need to get their 80 carries ahead, especially Banana Uyu and Matsi on these 2 picks. I think that Graves is the kind of champion who can't play on low econ, and so he is going to have to get ahead in this game, going to have to get some gold into him. And Ezreal mid, while we have seen it have success in the past, it is definitely a pick that we have not seen lately, especially because Ezreal does kind of have a bit of a strange build path nowadays. He has to either go into the sort of Duskblade Essence Reaver build, which is more meant to just one-shot squishies, or he has to kind of opt into something like the Divine Sunderer, as well as maybe an Essence Reaver on top of that, or maybe just something like a Triforce he could go for it. Just a lot of different builds, which does make him versatile, but it also does make him a little unfocused. So we will have to see where Banana Uyu takes his build. Of course, he does have that Conqueror in the mid lane, which doesn't really tell us much. That is kind of the rune of choice for a lot of Ezreals, but against that Electrocute on Anivia, going to be taking a lot of poke damage in that mid lane and going to be a very dangerous matchup for the Ezreal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things we were even talking about right before the break was Majnu on that Anivia. It's certainly a very impactful player so far in this game. Has been able to close the last 2 out in a row with this Corki. Of course, that being banned away, opts to the second favorite champion, apparently, of this Anivia. Have to see if it pans out here for this squad in general, as they're looking to go ahead and close out this series. In the meanwhile, Smite Fight, that one's going to get picked up here by Matsi in the top lane. That's Scuttlecrab. So that'll be good news, at least for the Death Cards here on that little interaction. But nothing else much is going to come of it, not even a flash burn.
Yeah, Matsi does get that Scuttlecrab, and while it does always feel good and boost your morale a bit to take those jungle objectives, like you said, no flashes burned. Udyr, of course, having that phase rush, just able to run out of there, and even though Banana Uyu did rotate over for the potential fight, there was nothing doing in that top river. Both junglers, of course, just looking to sort of farm it out in this early game, make sure they keep up with each other. Udyr, very fast farmer, one of the fastest, as Mahar.
Really going in here. Is Jerbican up there? Matsi has to make an appearance here and force that Aatrox away. Looks like we had a little bit of a hiccup, but we are back in general. And now actually Jerbican going back in with those Qs. Relentless up there in the top lane. I love to see it. Now a little bit of damage rating here in the bot lane. Some of these bot laners getting down to a bad half health. You have to be careful, and yeah, we're gonna have to see what exactly comes of this, especially now with Udyr on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, I think in terms of the top lane, Jermican was saying, well, if you're going to take my Mordekaiser, I'm going to show you how it's done on Aatrox, as he just goes in as hard as he can. But now, as Mahar does pick up that Thornmail, now going to be a lot more even matchup.
No. Is it?
Maybe.
Is it an even matchup?
I don't know. Technically should be, but we'll see if Germ just kind of knocks him up and knocks him down. We won't know until that fight actually happens. Ooh.
Oh, There it is, pulverized. Axified is low, in trouble. Matsy has made an appearance. There's smoke soon coming out. Flash burned by Zero, try to get away, but the teleport comes in from Banana Ouya here as well. Using this shift on forward, trying to find at least one auto attacks coming in here. Ritual taken down rather low. Gonna have to use that pulverized to get away, or that headbutt, excuse me. But nonetheless, it is gonna mean first blood of Zero is down into the pockets of Matsy. We were talking about this Graves being a little bit gold intensive, and that'll be a little bit of a nice boost.
And really good map awareness coming out from the side of Death Cards. Banana Ouya, of course, being that long-range carry that we had talked about in the early parts of the draft. Getting that long-range damage down does hit a few Qs, and while Ritual did try to flash forward and block most of the Qs onto his AD carry, he just wasn't able to block every bit of damage, and then Zero was taken down, and Ritual almost taken down himself. He did have a nice save at the end, but this does mean that Matsy will have that kill, will have a bit of extra gold, but it also means that he has gotten significantly behind in terms of jungling. We see Udyr now approaching the 50 CS mark, while Matsy is still sitting at around 35, and so while he did get that kill gold, I do believe that the CS differential for the junglers adds up to a bit more than a kill. I'm not entirely sure what gold math is for CS for junglers, but that does mean that Udyr will be a bit ahead, I believe. But in terms of Udyr being ahead, not the biggest deal. You know, you get your Udyr ahead, you got a pretty tanky guy, but if you get a Graves ahead, means a lot. And so Matsy getting that kill, while it doesn't mean as much as it could, it is very good for the early game.
It certainly is good. By the looks of it, I think is about 100 gold up as of right now. So actually very close between those two junglers. On the meanwhile here in the mid lane, but needs to be a little bit careful. Majdu might be taken down, is going to use that passive of the egg here, and that's going to be an easy punish for Grant McDonald on this Udyr to take care of Banana Ouya. They're going in a little bit too deep and forgetting about that all too critical Anivia passive. Although meanwhile, bot lane, more trading. Axified in trouble. Teleport's going to come down here as well. It's going to be Axified trying to get away underneath this turret. Jermican might be coming in just a little bit too late. The Chains of Corruption going to go on down here, and Mirth is going to get taken down. Flash forward by Jermican to secure that kill.
And yeah, the Smashborn battle back with their map awareness. Good teleport coming out from Jermican to secure that kill in the bot lane onto Mirth. Using the flash as well to get it, and so another summoner used, but this does mean that they have bot priority, they have the kill, and they have the dragon going to take that first Infernal Dragon of the game at about the 8-minute mark, and so starting the dragon train rolling early as Banana Ouya taking a huge chunk in the mid lane. My god, Anivia, so much damage. I was not expecting that.
Absolutely brutal there with that Glacial Storm, but we'll have to see exactly what else comes with this. Matsy looking in the bot lane here as well, but I believe was spotted out by those members of Smashborn. And so now resets are starting to come in. We're going to start to see some more items come in here for Smashborn as they start to try to pursue their advantage and potentially even look towards this Rift Herald.
Yeah, they definitely are a team that likes to control objectives, and I think that first Rift Herald, of course, very important, getting a lot of gold from those tower plates. And while neither team is really setting up around it quite yet, that will be sort of the objective of choice for the next 4 minutes until Dragon spawns. One of the things I did want to mention, as Mahar takes a big chunk.
You've got to get away from that Aatrox W. You just have to.
Yeah, and as we see, Mahar down a significant chunk of CS in that top lane. Quick maths tells me that it's about 20 as Germ looks to go back in and top.
Oh my goodness. The knockups here doing so much work right now. Mahar does not want to get trapped here. And is going to be forced to reset yet again. As we're starting to see, again, this post-level 6, Anivia zoning that I think we were talking a lot more about, making this matchup so much more difficult for Banana Ouya, and actually potentially looking troublesome here as we look towards the jungle. Grant McDonald starting to run down Graves here a little bit more. Banana Ouya, arcade shift over the wall, and now Grant McDonald's going to be the one trying to run. That's going to be the snipe with the Q. Mystic shot there, and Banana Ouya picking up 1 kill, being able to capitalize on that little bit of an overextension.
Yeah, and Ezreal definitely showing his early game prowess. Once he gets that sheen, of course, doing a ton of damage. And even though Graham McDonald was a little pushed, a little overextended in the jungle, does get taken down, and Banana Uyu is the one to take that kill. Does mean that Ezreal's going to be a bit ahead in this game. Speaking of the Ezreal, one thing that I actually did want to talk about as well is that Arcane Shift ability that he has, the E, on Ezreal. One of the things about Ezreal is that Arcane Shift has been nerfed a lot recently. The level 1 cooldown is quite high for that ability, and so while Ezreal, once he gets to that mid-late game, will be very safe, in this early game, he is a pretty big target, and we saw that from Udyr earlier when Udyr came mid and took him down. And so we'll have to see if they can get on that Ezreal yet again, force the Arcane Shift, especially while he is flashless, and then take him down once again.
All right, so to steer the conversation back to the top lane, if you're Bahar right now, how useful is your W? Because I don't think it's very useful if you're just pulling the Aatrox with the sword that hits in a very specific spot closer to you.
Yeah.
Like, it gets a little bit of damage here, but in this matchup, it is not looking too great, and that is what happens when you try to punish this counter pick here. You're noticing the full combo of Jermican's Aatrox doing close to like a third of the health bar, honestly, of Mahar. Gonna have to be very careful of this matchup, but it's gonna be forced to back again and head for that fountain.
Yeah, and then of course having a wave crashing into him as well does stop the back, and now that we see Rift Herald taken mid, we know that Jermican wants to just stay up in that top matchup. He is winning it quite handily, being about 30-40 CS up, and so taking the Rift Herald mid, getting some gold into the Anivia's pocket is going to be pretty good for her. And that just means that Jermican can continue to win out in this matchup, I should say, in the top lane, as he now just looks to shove and then perhaps roam, or perhaps take a back of his own, looking to spend all that gold that he has acquired for himself through that CSing that he has been doing pretty well in the top lane against this Mordekaiser pick. Of course, showing Mahar how it's done on that Aatrox. Oh, man,
Oh, there,
so
too.
close.
Oh my goodness. I saw your life flash before your eyes, and then you get flashed back to the fountain. But nonetheless, 15 seconds until the next Drake comes up here. And actually, Death Guard's positioning themselves very well in this river right now. Jermican doesn't quite have the teleport up yet. That'll be up in about probably another 30-20 seconds if I had to guess. But this Drake has spawned now. So notice the position. Death Guards have control of the river. We'll have to see who pulls the trigger first.
Yeah, and it looks like Death Cards may just be looking to posture around this dragon. They do, like you said, have the first entry onto that dragon. Of course, being on red side does give them a bit of an advantage on that front, as Ritual gets pulled forward, but he is just an Alistar.
It's just an all-star Mahar now in the Death Ward. That's going to be like a knock up there coming on in, but I don't know if there's anyone quite there to capitalize right now. Mirth is taken down rather low here. It is going to be forced to run away. Banana Uyu also taken down very low, and now Death Guard's just going to force to try to run away and salvage something of their lives. Grant McDonald trying to rush back in, but no blood. After all of that, no blood. And now Smash Barn going to look back towards this Drake. Manju, oh my gosh, how much damage was that? Onto Axified, but it looks like actually Smash Barn going to go ahead, pick up this Drake, and are the benefactors of a ton of damage trading.
And Ritual on that Alistar just getting the 4-man knock up in the back of that fight. Oh, it's now...
There it is, finally! Finally some blood. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, only 5 kills in this game so far, but it's been a relatively active game. I mean, we've had plays coming from every which way, as now Banana Uyu just looking to clear out this bot lane. May be looking for a bit of a lane swap with Axified. We do see him sort of moving mid now as he is trying to lane against this Anivia, perhaps thinking he will fare a bit better against the bird in the mid lane, as he kind of has now swapped roles a bit as we get into this 14-15 minute mark.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that one does pan out. And it'll be interesting also to see where Mirth decides to go on this relic as well. Now, more damage trading in the top lane yet again, being very annoying. And actually, Mahar faring a little bit better, all things considered. Still taking a lot of Q damage, but it's a little better than it was a bit ago, I guess.
I think he has built quite a lot of armor in that lane, having those plated steel caps and the bramble vest. His itemization has been significantly delayed because of the bramble vest that he did complete. While it is great for the matchup, it does mean that his power spikes will be later and later. Now he has that leeching leer though, which will give him a good amount of omnivamp and will allow him to survive a bit better in that lane. But he is still forced to lane against Jermican's Aatrox, so you know, it's still a bit of a difficulty. As now it looks like we may be looking at a dive onto Mahar. 3 other members of Smashbarn going up.
Smashbarn coming in there. There's the chain. It's going to take Grant McDonald to the death realm here. You're on the edges right now, and Mahar is really going to be looking for at least 1 kill. But this Udyr just a little bit too tanky, and now knocked up. Mirth tries to come in with, trying to do a little bit of saving grace with that Magna Storm, but Mahar is going to go down nonetheless. Well, the meanwhile here, actually, back in the bot lane, it's a mid lane matchup. That's going to be a flash forward. Banana Uyu takes up that solo kill here as well with that true shot barrage committal.
Yeah, Banana Uyu showing his stuff down in the bot lane against Majnu, definitely showing that he can contest one of the better mid laners that we have seen in this league. But one of the things about that top lane play that I wanted to point out, Grant McDonald, very smartly when he went under the tower, did not deal any damage to Mahar. Instead chose to stay out of immolate range, not going to take tower aggro from the Turbo Chem Tank passage, as well as not really hitting him, and so he was able to not tank any tower shots and just kind of sit on the edge of that death realm until his team could support him from beyond the grave. And so Mahar did get taken down in that top lane, and again we see that they did not take top lane tower, even though they likely could have. This is likely to just keep Mahar in this matchup, in this unfavorable matchup that we see against Jermican. Jerm is still up 40 CS and looking to continue to climb, as now we see Banana Uyu is actually going up towards that top lane to match Jermican blow for blow in that lane.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of shifting matchups so far, right, to try to get something done here. All the meanwhile, Mirth might get caught out here a little bit more with that Pulverize coming in from Ritual here, and that is going to be a swarm. Jermican going on a killing spree now, and now it looks like they're just going to try to continue running down some of these other members. Okay, opting side to back off there, and now going for this Rift Herald here, the second one late in this stage, but again, still going to apply a little more tower pressure, opening up the map even more for Smashbarn.
And yeah, as they begin to get this Rift Herald low, now looking at Banana Uyu over the side, but being that Ezreal having that Arcane Shift ability, now getting a couple of points into it, going to have a very low cooldown, as he is now able to just shift and flash all over the dang place. And so Banana Uyu gets out, but they do get the Rift Herald for the side of Smashbarn. Will be able to drop that. Typically, second Rift Herald is not as valuable as the first, but maybe looking to drop that either mid to try and break that mid tier 2. It is already a bit low, or they could just take it bot and kind of take the standing hold on the map of that bot tier 1, as it looks like they are about to take down top tier 1. Zerial's got that one.
Mahar has to flash to get away from Manju's damage here so far, and now on rather low health is probably not going to want to do much to engage. Oh, that's just unfortunate for the Canyon. But in any event, Manju still putting in stuff, and now teleport coming in here. It is going to be the Drake is secured by Axified, but Jermican has made an appearance. Mirth trying to flash away, and that is the true support right there, risking their lives, drawing the attention away from Mahar. And still nobody going down. Actually, Jermican's still looking on a little bit of a prowl, as well as Grant McDonald, who spots Matsy now. Stun's going to come in here by Mirth. But looks like no blood so far. It's just Smashbarn bullying death cards out of their own jungle.
And it was a bit of a tragedy in 2 acts coming from Jermican. He blew the teleport to try to get the kill onto Mirth, and then blew the flash to try to get the kill onto Mirth, and got neither. And so he is down summoner spells, but what is also down is that tier 2 tower in the mid lane for death cards, likely looking to get a charge onto this inhibitor turret as well. They're going to get a significant chunk of damage onto that, as Grant McDonald now against Mahar.
Well, McDonald has Mahar here. Mahar might be forced to use the Death Realm in a moment. Death's Grasp pulling the Udyr back in, but that is one speedy man bear. Or bear man. Either or. Just gonna be able to run away. And even still, like, Smashbarn has so much of a presence in the Death Guard's jungle. Just individually, they output so much more damage than the Death Guard's composition, and there's hardly a ton that they can do about it.
And I think that is kind of what Smashbarn's composition is built to do. They have so much CC coming out from Grant McDonald, Majnu, Ritual on that Alistar, as well as Jermican can put down a good bit of CC with his knockups. And so I think that they can just sort of push in with that CC threat that they have on all of their champions and just look to bully them out of their jungle like you were talking about. And so I think that in terms of battling back into this game, I think that Death Cards are going to have to find some very key picks onto the side of Smashbarn. They're just going to have to look to pick out maybe Majnu or Zerial, looking to get those key carries down and get some momentum back in this game, as they are down about 5k gold. Game's not over, of course. We still have a good bit left to go, but it is looking a bit dire for Death Cards in this moment.
It's looking a bit dire there as Mahar just forced to run back underneath the turret. It knows that that is not a winning matchup at this point, given Jermican right now 3-0-0 on the Aatrox. And that is about almost a 2,000 gold difference between the Aatrox and the Mordekaiser, which is a little unfortunate here for Mahar, who now finds himself on the opposite side of the lane. He used a little bit of the shield to get away, and here comes Mirth trying to provide some additional support. In the Death Realm they go. Well, meanwhile, Banana Uyu getting engaged on here in the bot lane, using that True Shot Barrage, but it's not going to be enough. All the meanwhile, it's a shutdown in the top lane for Mahar. That'll make up a little bit more of that gold difference. We'll have to see if Mordekaiser can start putting in some work for the Death Guards here and send some people to the Death Realm.
And now we see that Death Cards are actually starting up the Baron. Ritual does spot this out, as well as Zerial, but Zerial going very deep.
Zero going very deep, just going to get blown up here in a moment, and that is going to be exactly what happens. Matsy takes care of that on the collateral damage. Now Ritual and Grant McDonald and Manju all coming in here. Very low health bars for Death Cards. That's going to be one down as Matsy goes down, Axified goes down, and now Mirth is soon to follow here as well. So much crowd control just locking up these members of the Death Cards, and you cannot get away with plays that easily.
Yeah, and now Smashbarn likely just going to rotate onto this Baron. They have pretty quick Baron take from the side of Majnu and Grant McDonald, so just going to look to burn this one down, try to get this objective pretty quick. Zerial is dead, so they will, or sorry, not dead, he just respawned, I should say. So they will not have their AD carry for this, but looks like they're just going to take this Baron.
I mean, what can you do at this point if you are the Death Cards, right?
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute, he stole it! I thought that was a simple one and done! Oh my god.
In the chat right now, there are pings all over the place.
Yeah.
On the Udyr smite.
I don't think you on the stream can see chat, but everybody's just pinging smite, 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 smite. Oh my good lord, that's hilarious. Well, this definitely helps the side of Death Cards. That does mean that they are only, I believe, a bit, they are now only about a 4k gold deficit. They were at a 5k, so about 1,000 gold in their favor, but now...
Careful. They don't want to lose this Baron buff this early on this next team fight. Manju now taken down rather low in the Death Realm. This Mordekaiser of Mahar, but is taken down so low. Manju goes golden here even more to buy for a little bit more time, and Mahar's just going to go down almost immediately. Pulls back in a couple of these members, buy a little more time, but Jermican flashing forward, looking for more blood onto these Death Cards. Has to be very careful though, but that World Ender healing gonna come in clutch for this Aatrox and keep him alive. Smashbarn is still looking very strong and certainly going to be a threat here moving forward. Death Cards don't want to take this Drake fight here for fear of losing the Baron buff, but at the same time, you know, they're just gonna have to sit here and watch Banana Uyu actually getting one onto Ritual here as well. Banana Uyu about to bring Death Guards back into this fight. Now they're all of a sudden around this Drake. They're gonna steal a Cloud Drake too, and that's Mike connects. Mirth is gonna go in here and get taken down, but Axe finds Banana Uyu still trying to carry this fight. Jermican now finds Banana Banana Uyu is going to get one for the road, but going to get taken down nonetheless. And I believe one member right now has this Baron buff. They take the... what is even happening in this game? Battle Dance, take it away.
No, I think Grant McDonald might be having a bit of performance anxiety on this one. I think that he's just not getting these objectives when he needs to. I mean, getting that dragon stolen from him, a bit understandable. Matzy was on the smite, but then having that Baron taken as well, it just is tragic for the side of Smashbarn. And even though they are still up in this game, they're still up about 6k gold, and they did, we'll call it win that last team fight in terms of kills. They did lose the objective, and I think that that is one of the biggest ways that Death Cards can find their way back into this game, is just being that objective focused team that just kind of rolls over the objectives, just looks to clear waves smartly and not push too far forward, but then just win fights when it counts, and then eventually try to crawl their way back from this gold deficit that they find themselves in. And I think in terms of controlling objectives right now, Death Cards are doing it, and even though both of the previous games have sort of looked a bit one-sided, Smashbarn just kind of taking a bit of time, but then eventually winning it out on the day, I think Death Cards looking pretty strong in this later game.
Death Card's certainly looking for it, but I think, as you mentioned, it's going to come down to multiple more objective steals. I mean, at this point, I think they still lose a straight up team fight. I mean, we're still talking about a 6,000 gold difference here at the 26-minute mark with some of these champions we were talking about. Manji, we're talking about Jermican, they can get very set up, and as we've seen, they're still winning the fights at the end of the day, and they're still certainly that large of a presence. It's just going to have to come down to sealing these objectives away and depriving Smashbarn of the necessary resources to get further and further along. Of course, yeah, that's the other thing, though, is that Cloud Drake probably not going to be that influential overall here, right? Or Cloud Soul, I should say, really. You know, could be a little bit more helpful, especially when we're talking about like Banana Ooze True Shot Barrage or something to that effect, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's going to have that large of an impact. So even though we're talking about these objectives, especially the Drakes for a little while longer, just not going to have that impact that you might want, even if they're going to be able to get stolen away.
I think for the Cloud Soul, I think that it would benefit both teams, and it would be pretty useful in terms of the team fight. You know, I think that having a good bit more move speed on someone like Grant McDonald or Jermican or even Ritual for the side of Smashbarn would be great, but also for the side of Death Cards, who now look... as Mirth just gets knocked up by the wall and then knocked away by Ritual. Not sure about that interaction there, but yeah, as we were kind of talking about it, I think that the side of Death Cards, they love this ultimate cooldown reduction that we see coming out from these Cloud Dragons. You know, Mordekaiser, Ezreal, even Kaisa to a certain extent, and Rel especially, love that ultimate cooldown, and so stacking these Cloud Drakes for them is very useful. And in terms of the Cloud Soul, one of the biggest parts about Death Card's comp is they just want to run forward. They have the Mordekaiser, they have Graves, Ezreal, Kaisa, and then especially Rel again, going to just be able to run forward, get down a W ultimate, and then just roll over the fight. And so that Cloud Soul could be very impactful. Of course, this is 10 minutes away in the game. We are still looking at about a, what is that, 6k gold lead, 6.5k gold lead for the side of Smashbarn. They are still definitely winning in terms of the gold in this game, but in terms of scaling, I mean, we were joking about it in the draft, but this 380 carry comp that has come out for Death Cards is beginning to come online, and so we'll have to see if they can kind of continue to fight back and claw their way back into this one.
We will have to see, but it's probably going to come down to some of these next fights. 2 objectives now coming up on the map. In another 10 seconds, this second Baron is going to spawn in what might likely be a team fight to decide the game. But in another 30, we're going to see another Cloud Drake come on up. And actually, the Death Card's taking the positioning of the bottom side of the river. Neither team really going for this Baron overall, as the Death Cards are really looking to deprive Smashbarn of another Drake.
And we also saw Nivea completing that Archangel's Staff, which turned into a Seraph's Embrace, which does mean be putting out a lot of damage in this upcoming fight around Dragon. Looks like both teams have chosen to posture around the Drake instead of looking for that Baron that has already spawned. And Death Cards, again, getting that first rotation on it, being on that red side, but now Grant McDonald going forward.
Graham McDonald going forward, as is Mahar, and has to be very careful here, taking the death run, but Zero going to take care of that fight. And now here comes the rest of Smashbar just coming in and starting to decimate some of the health bars of Death Guards. It's going to be a double kill of 4-0 already in this fight. And now Jermican flashing forward here onto Banana Uyu, zoning this member away so much of this fight. The Arcane Shift already used, can't get back over the wall, and Jermican's just going to slam that blade with the World Ender and take care of that game. Axified goes down. It's going to be an ace for Smashbarn, and they're going to look to end the game.
And Smashbarn just break everything open in that fight. Graham McDonald just looking to solo down this dragon, and of course he's going to get it. Udyr at this stage of the game can easily solo the Drake, and then it looks like they are rotating over to this Baron. With that Baron buff, like you said, they may just look to end the game in the next 3-4 minutes. And as we see them getting onto the Baron, we will have to watch Banana Uyu. He is up in about 20 seconds, and so I don't think he'll get the ultimate to steal, but you never know. I mean, he's done it once before, but you know, they're just gonna get it as he's in base. Nothing too long range coming out from them, and so Smashbarn getting this Baron taken down is going to put them very far ahead in the game. Now they're about 11k gold up. I mean, they're extremely far ahead of Death Cards, and we'll have to see if they can close this one out. Death Cards have had some miracle plays in this game, just getting some absolutely disgusting objective steals and winning these fights that they have no business winning. But now it looks like Smashbarn may be looking to put the final nail in the coffin for Death Cards.
God, absolutely. Especially, you know, as I said, it was going to be just about trying to deprive them of these resources, but now with his Baron buff as well, going to be able to push these lanes out. We already saw earlier how Smashbarn was bullying the Death Cards out of their own jungle. I imagine we'll see much the same coming up here shortly. As we start to see some of the push in, gripping mid, Mirth going in. That's a 3-man Magnet Storm coming in, as well as the collateral damage. It's going to be a shutdown for Banana Uyu here as well. But no, it looks like it's going to get turned around here from Smashbarn. It's a double kill already for Jermican as all of these ultimates continue to get popped. Manju is dominating now on the Anivia, and so much damage is just unleashed. Mirth now trying to just wait here for a little while longer, but Smashbarn is going to be looking to go ahead and ravage the base, and they have their eyes set on the Nexus.
And it was a great engage by Mirth. He just had so much CC coming down, but then there was no tanky member of Death Cards to follow it up. He just got taken out of the fight, and then the backline of Death Cards got engaged on. And as we see GG's coming out in the chat, we do see Smashbarn taking this game and taking the series 3-0.
Taking the series, and they are going to be your PRL Novice 2021 Winter Split champions. That is Smashbarn. Congratulations go out to them in this championship match, which was just a proven test of Smashbarn's macro play ability overall. Certainly a performance to be proud of.
And I think a performance to be proud of from everyone on Smashbarn. They had some big plays coming out from everybody. I mean, Graham McDonald, Majnu, Zerial, Jermican, Ritual, all of them had their day in the sun. And I think that they are our 2020 Winter Split champions, going to be Smashbarn, and they have played immaculately this whole season, as you said, only dropping 2 games throughout the entirety of the split, and now they are the champions. We will be getting into an interview with them shortly, but before we get into that, how do you feel about this series? I mean, I think it was a bit one-sided, but I think that Death Cards, they did battle back, especially in that last game, and they did show a lot of signs of life.
No, I think the Death Cards certainly were probably one of the best opponents that you could ask for right now for Smashbarn, right? I mean, at the end of the day, especially games 1 and 2 really came down to like one macro misplay that started, or even one like proactive macro play for Smashbarn that really opened the game up. And I think that was kind of true to the case here in this last game, but a little less of the fact. But even the Death Cards continuing to just try to claw on back, especially with Banana Uyu there in the mid lane. I mean, certainly worthy rivals. I would think the series score might be just a tad bit misleading in terms of how close some of these games really were and how kind of nail biting some of those interactions and fights truly were.
Yeah, I think in terms of the games, I think all of them were extremely close. I think that when the snowball got rolling for Smashbarn, it really just kind of rolled over Death Cards. I mean, I think that every game in the early game was close, bar none. I mean, we really did see these teams just fighting and clawing at each other, and then just eventually Smash Barn would just blow open the game. And I think that has a lot to do with their macro play and with the mechanical ability that they have on the champions that they play. I think that Majnu's Corki, of course, one of his most famous picks, and definitely did a lot in all of those games. And then as well, we see, Germ coming out on some good picks. We had Zerial doing a lot of damage in the team fights. And just everybody on Smash Barn, they played their game and they played it well. And even though every game was close in their own way, I think that Smash Barn at the end of the day they're very deserving of the title of champion.
Absolutely, and I'm very excited to hear from them. We'll be hopping into the team call in just a couple of seconds. Give us a brief moment while we switch over there. We'll be back with an interview. And welcome back. We are sitting in team comms of Smash Barn, who just won the PRL Novice 2021 Winter Split. And for an interview with the players, I'm going to send it over to Battle Dance.
And of course, as we get into this interview, first question I got to ask: how you all feeling? You feeling good? You feeling hyped? You feeling got a lot of energy coursing through you right now?
Let's go!
Yeah,
Let's go!
tried for so long.
Oh man, dude! Finally!
Yeah.
Oh man!
Let it all out, guys. This is your catharsis, for
dude.
sure.
Oh my god.
Sorry, man, but it was an insane. Oh, it was insane, and everyone was so pumped before the game. Everyone was all hyped up, like getting their games in. Everyone was just all locked in and ready to go.
Yeah, and I love feeling the energy from you guys. I can really feel it. And of course, you're going to be hyped up after you win championship. That's such a big deal for you guys. And I know a couple of you have been waiting for it for so long. I will ask, in that last game, it kind of felt like a bit of a draft gap. It felt like you really did kind of outdraft your opponents, and especially after they had that comp kind of come together as 380 carries and a bit of a front line in the rel, but not much after that. Do you think that a lot of the games came down to draft gap, or what do you guys think was kind of the reasons why you won most of those games?
I definitely think it is really, really big on the draft. We've spent literally the entire last week, when we're not actually practicing as a team in games, going over draft. Like every single possible scenario we went over as a team. And I really think that was our strength going into all of these games, and why we were able to take them out in the 3-0 despite them being a really good team, is that we literally put as much respect on them as we possibly could, and just absolutely focused on how we could get around their strengths in draft. And it fell apart a bit in game 2 when we weren't expecting the super early Kassadin, but I definitely think that the overall team draft there at the end really came out, and we just able to outscale a Kassadin, which is a crazy thing to be able to do. But with the amount of time we spent on draft, I definitely think that we hard won draft in all 3 games tonight.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that a lot of the games really did boil down to how you guys drafted and how you guys spent time on sort of studying your opponents. I think that is an aspect of League of Legends that is not really talked about much, but I think really putting in the work and looking into the background of your opponents and what they play, what they like to play, what their style is, and trying to play against that kind of style is very, very important. And it clearly shows in the way you guys draft and the way you guys play. You obviously know your opponents well, and I definitely want to give you props for that one. Very smart drafting, very smart play coming out from you guys throughout that whole series. Speaking of the series, one player who particularly stood out in this series and who I would like to give a bit of a spotlight to, Majnu.
Yes, sir.
I wonder how long it took them to find that Corki button, Majnu. It really did take them a bit to ban that out. How did it feel being on your 2 comfort champions and just kind of stomping those games?
I think, I don't know, I feel like there's kind of been this disrespect all PRL split. Nobody has banned my Corki the entire split until they finally decided game 3, maybe this guy's kind of knows what he's doing. We noticed Banana had started playing Corki earlier, and we were Brendan was talking, or Jermkin was talking about in our draft, we had plans set up. Like, no matter what happened to draft, we had a plan, and our first priority was if they don't ban Corki or Anivia, we're gonna pick Corki or Anivia, no matter what. I don't care if there's a counter pick coming. We're gonna pick the champion just because we just don't lose with Corki. I don't even think it's possible.
Yeah, and I mean, you were definitely, with the way you were playing, you were making it look impossible to take down that Corki. Obviously, very comfort pick for you as well as the Anivia, and it definitely showed in those games. I mean, you were so well positioned, and there was at one point, I believe you were like 1v4, and then you ended up coming out on top. It was in that Ivern game, and so it was just great play coming out. Also, definitely need to spotlight the man, the myth, the legend, Zerial in that bot lane. You were definitely hyped up, and you were definitely proud of your victory today. Really like to highlight your and Ritual's team play and how you play together. I think that you guys clearly very comfortable in that bot lane. You've been a duo for a bit, it seems, and it seems like you guys sort of mesh together well. Do you think that the bot lane synergy, as well as just the synergy with the entire team, was what led you to your victory today?
Yeah. I think we duo a lot. Like, if you just look at our match history, every time I play ranked, it's gonna be with Ritual. Like, we have the synergy all locked in, and I mean, it was an insane bot lane matchup. They were not a joke of a bot lane. They were very good, and we were very scared of them. Like, from the beginning, we were like, they were rated as very high, like the best bot lane in PRL, and we were going in just full focused. But I think our synergy all together and they're just calms just made us win the game, made us win bot lanes.
Yeah, I'd say that I agree with that. I know that we were feeling, I think, pretty good bot lane toward the end of the split. We were really getting our synergy going. And then I think yesterday we had some rough games bot lane, so I was feeling sort of scared, honestly. There's a bit of a meme about my alley, but I'm happy that we were able to sort that out, and I think we played really well.
Yeah, I definitely think you guys were one of the driving forces in those wins, getting down so much damage, so much CC in those team fights. Really loved seeing you guys play and love seeing the synergy coming out from you as well as the entire team. And to sort of wrap it all up and give the final spotlight, as I believe all of you deserve a spotlight in this win that you guys have. I think Grant McDonald, I've seen you, me and you, we share a name. My name is Grant. I believe your name is Grant. We have a lot of kinship, and I think that one of the things that we definitely share is that supports are amazing, and Ivern, being that supportive jungler, such a strong showing on that champion. Do you think that that was the best jungle play you've had all split?
No, I don't think so. My Ivern, it's actually kind of feared by a lot of people. It used to be permaban towards the beginning because I took some time to learn how to play Ivern, and I can play Ivern into practically any matchup, and as you know, Ivern is just super versatile. He can be the protective force for the entire team, or he can be the engaged too if he needs with Daisy. So I was kind of surprised that it was let through. I did get triple banned the first game. I was kind of sad. I wasn't really thinking of playing Lilia, but it was in the back burner of my head. But the Ivern was definitely like a must pick because I don't know. I think with the new patch and all the nerfs that I've just gone through, Ivern is he's insane. I mean, he can keep anybody alive. I think you saw that one play where Majnu was you even mentioned where he was like 1v4 and then he had that giant shield. I mean, that was a combined effort of me, his shield bow, and Nautilus. Like, I mean, Ivern's I don't know, Ivern's kind of broken, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I mean, you definitely made it look broken with that play on that champion. Of course, Ivern being the supportive jungler, especially with that Moonstone build. Moonstone getting a lot of value in those team fights. And like you said, you just, someone can't die. I mean, if they have a pocket Ivern, you just have shields up every 4 seconds, and you have Daisy being kind of a front line, as well as giving them some roots and some bushes to hide in. I think that champion is great. So, yeah, to wrap up the interview, I want to say congratulations again to you guys on the win. You are our Winter Split 2021 champions for the PRL Novice League. big congratulations out to all of you. You all had amazing performances in the game, and I know you guys have been wanting this for a very long time. And so, thank you very much for just being yourselves. Thanks for having that great gameplay, great time on the Rift, and just to send it back to K-Bot, I want to say congratulations one last time.
Yeah, congratulations and thank you. But I'm sure you all have your fair share of folks to thank. We go top to bot for one final round of shoutouts on the final cast of the Winter Split, starting with Jermican.
I guess I just want to shout out everyone from EQ Storm. They gave me a place to play last split, and I really think that's the reason why my level of play was able to stay to where it is. I just want to shout out, Night Hunter, or Regicide, as he's known in PRL, Sam Wallace, Doc, and EQ Psycho, and Jules. I want to shout out them because I don't think I would have been able to improve as much as I did if I didn't continue playing with them last split. And I'm really sad to see that they didn't make it into playoffs, but that's just my big shout out. I also want to shout out Marshall and everyone from Dog for kind of cheering for me in the background on Discord in between all the games, keeping me hyped up. So thanks, guys.
Love to hear it. Grant McDonald, how about you?
I definitely want to shout out Brown Bear Fi. He's been blowing up the chat since the beginning. He's watched all 3 games. He saw our crazy first 2 games. He saw my smite mishap. I
wasn't gonna mention
saw me at my greatest, my worst in all 3 games. I want to shout out my cousin. He's spending time with me. Ariful, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching me play. And I'll shout you guys out. You guys, I mean, I always shout the casters out. Like I'm so glad that K-Bot, you were able to shout this out. You 2 Battle Dance. I'm gonna have real fun rewatching my moments, and thank you very much.
Absolutely, my pleasure to be back on the mic for you all. Majnu, how about you?
I guess my really only one. Everyone, I mean, they've kind of said it like a gajillion people. I guess I'd say my girlfriend. She's watching right now. She supports me all the time. Love her. Yeah, Samir.
Aww.
All right, Zerial.
I just want to shout out my cousin Bandit. He's always in the chat, always supporting me and the team. I want to shout out, of course, Brown Bear Faisal. I want to shout out you guys again. I want to shout out my support. I want to shout out the team. I want to shout out the Dog Discord again. Like Jermican said, they've been just rooting for us. Sharkbait, he's the homie. Utopia, yeah. And Rive, excellent production. Love it, man.
And last but certainly not least, Ritual.
I'll shout out my boys Varun and Mo. They tuned into the stream today to support our team, which was really cool. So I appreciate that. And then again, just shout out to my team. It's been a ton of fun playing this split, and shout out to just all of PRL. So yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, congratulations to you all for becoming PRL 2021 Novice Winter Split champions. We hope to see you all back here next season. And we are going to take it over to the caster booth for a real quick wrap up on the split.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
All right, everyone. Well, that's going to do it for the Winter 2021 split, the PRL Novice League. Battle Dance, any thoughts to bring us home?
Well, of course, being from the Solar Division, I am very happy that a Solar team has won. We are, of course, the most powerful division. Of course, makes sense that we would win this one. No, but I'm just kidding. I love all of the divisions. I mean, they are really the heart and soul of this organization. I mean, Rai, absolutely amazing on the production, and everybody who is behind the scenes, of course. But what it all boils down to is the players. I think without the players, you don't have a league at all. And I think we have so many big names in this organization. I've loved working with PRL for this split, and I would love to work with you guys in the future as well. And I think that today really was the culmination of everything that has happened throughout the split. I mean, it really was just that fight for first that everybody has kind of been clawing after throughout the entirety of the split. And I think that, I mean, Smash Barn did take the day, but everybody who has played throughout this entire season can take a lot of lessons from this. And I think that everybody who has started the split has definitely ended the split as better players, better team, better, I mean, just across the board. I think everybody has grown a lot during the season, and watching people grow like this is just such an amazing experience. I mean, I love working with this organization, and I just love watching League of Legends. I mean, casting is great and it's really fun, and watching these players just do their thing on the Rift is really beautiful.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. And hey, on the note of that process completing, that process is about to start again. That's right, in just a couple weeks, actually. I think it's only like 2 or 3, actually. We're going to be back with the spring split of the Novice League. And so signups are currently live for those. Just hit ! Signups in the chat, where you can find the Google form there to fill out for yourselves. If you have a team and you are interested, be sure to get those signups in as soon as possible. Of course, as Battle Dance mentioned, it's a fantastic community, and it is a pleasure, honestly, to cast a lot of these games for y'all. Wish I could be more involved, but that is just the nature of my personally busy life. In any event, it's a fantastic community to be a part of around here at the PRL. And I really do hope that each and every one of you considers joining it if you were just watching on the sidelines for this last split, or we hope that you're coming back to try again for that first place spot. With all that out of the way, everyone, we are going to call it a wrap for the PRL Novice 2021 Winter Split. My name is Kbot. I've been your play-by-play caster tonight. I've been joined by Battle Dance on color commentary. Mighty Rye has been our lead producer for the entire split. Hats off to him. And of course, Canadian Champ is our head organizer and league owner. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you back here in just a couple of weeks and back later in the week for Academy League playoffs. Be sure you're staying tuned to the PRL social channels, including the Discord server, for more updates on that Academy League. But Smash Barn are going to be your PRL Novice Winter Split champions. We'll have to see who is crowned in the spring in just a couple weeks. Teleport coming in here from Banana Uyu. It's going to be just a little bit late. They're going for Jermican, has the Death Realm up ready, and is going to go ahead and use that onto Mahar. We'll see if Mahar can tank up the damage here, but might be a little bit more outmatched. On the meanwhile, Ritual has also made an appearance here. It looks like Jermican is going to find that kill. Now here's the rest of it. The Encore goes just slightly wide here, and Mirth is going to go down to Ritual. Is going unstoppable, mind you, and we're just seeing what the Smash Barn does best. They are smashing through some of these team fights, and that's going to almost assure Infernal Soul Dragon, and I don't think any one of the death cards is even going to bother trying to go in because they know for sure it's a death sentence. That is going to be the Infernal Soul secured here. Looks like trying to get some more work done, but they have to be careful. Majnu going with in fairness, they might as well be, especially while they have this Baron. Might as well make the most use of it as they can. Push out the rest of these waves in both the bottom and top sides of the map if they can do just that. Now we're seeing a little bit more of the engagement. Matzi just running in. You cannot quite find that. Mirth can't find the Encore here either, and there's going to be Zero going right on top of that Seraphine. Although meanwhile, Death Realm for Jarmican. It's going to be a double kill for Zero here as well. And that, again, my friend, I know you're really looking for something, but I don't think you're going to find it. And now you could be in trouble in the opposing jungle. Going to be able to get one on a Ritual here, but here comes the Corki here as well. And just going to blow up Banana Uyu here. Going unstoppable now. That's 5, 2, and 9 on this Corki. All of those kills have been, or a lot of those kills have been within the last 10 minutes here even. Mahar now in trouble as well, currently flashless, and it's going to get taken down at base right now. That's a second inhibitor down. They'll be looking for the Nexus turrets in a moment. Grant McDonald actually could have been caught out just a little bit more. Charge line does not quite connect. There's a knock up on a 2. Moonlight Vigil is going to come in here, but it might just not be enough damage here. Jarmican going golden. There's a Lamb's Respite. Second time used, and it's used beautifully to keep some of these members alive. Mahar is going to have to run for the hills. Majnu going legendary now, and it's going to try to find another one onto Mirth. There's the double Banana Uyu going in once more. The Rift Walker still not quite at level 16. The win condition here for this team, but it might not be enough at this point. Smash Barn is looking to go ahead and run away from this one, but nonetheless, actually they're gonna have to get chased down here by Banana Uyu. Banana Uyu actually gonna be able to find one onto this Kindred. Mahar gonna be able to find another one here, and perhaps some shutdowns coming in clutch for the Death Guards. We'll see if they can hold on here for a little while longer. Now Jermican is gonna start to get blown up here and taken down. The Death Cards are going to be able to at least get about if Smash Barn turns their backs, and if Banana Uyu can find these picks with Rift Walker and things like that. Mahar getting knocked up here with the Call of the Forge God, trying to find a lot of damage here, and actually Zero getting taken down rather low. But Mahar is going to go down nonetheless. That was a last-ditch feast. Banana Uyu waiting in the bush here, might be looking for something. Gonna try to find this one, but that is right on top of this Kindred who has Lamb's Respite. Now there's 3 other members there. Zero gonna find that kill onto that Cassin, and now Axify trying to flash in. Lamb's Respite's gonna go out here as well. All these members staying alive. There's a death sentence as well, and Smash Barn is just gonna clean house. It's a double kill for Zerial, and that is almost a sure.
Onto Mahar, 3 other members of Smash Barn going up.
How?
Smash Barn coming in there. There's the Shane. It's going to take Grant McDonald to the death here. You're on the edges right now, and Mahar's really going to be looking for at least 1 kill. But this Udyr just a little bit too tanky, and now knocked up. Mirth tries to come in with, trying to do a little bit of saving grace with that Magna Storm, but Mahar is going to go down nonetheless. Well, meanwhile here, actually, back in the bot lane, it's a mid lane matchup. That's going to be
Cards are actually starting up the Baron. Ritual does spot this out as well as Zerial, but Zerial going very deep.
Zero going very deep, just going to get blown up here in a moment, and that is going to be exactly what happens. Matsy takes care of that on the collateral damage. Now Ritual and Grant McDonald and Manju all coming in here. Very low health bars for death cards. That's going to be 1 down as Matsy goes down, Axify goes down, and now Mirth is soon to follow here as well. So much crowd control, just locking up these members of the death cards.
They were at a 5k, so about 1,000 gold in their favor, but now
careful. They don't want to lose this Baron buff this early on this next team fight. Manju now taken down rather low into Death Realm. This Mordekaiser of Mahar, but is taken down so low. Manju goes golden here, even more to buy for a little bit more time, and Mahar's just going to go down almost immediately. Pulls back in a couple of these members, find a little more time, but Jernigan flashing forward, looking for more blood onto these death cards. Has to be very careful though, but that world under healing gonna come in clutch for this Aatrox and keep him alive. Smash Barn is still looking very strong and certainly going to be a threat here moving forward. Death cards don't want to take this Drake fight here for fear of losing the Baron buff, but at the same time, they're just gonna have to sit here and watch Banana Uyu actually getting one onto Ritual here as well. Banana Uyu about to bring death cards back into this fight. Now they're all of a sudden around this Drake. They're gonna steal a Cloud Drake too, and that's Mike Connects. Mirth is gonna go in here and get taken down, but Axify and Banana Uyu still trying to carry this fight. Jernigan now finds Banana Uyu.
Getting that first rotation on it being on that red side, but now Grant McDonald going forward.
Grant McDonald going forward, as is Mahar, and has to be very careful here, taking a death run, but Zero's going to take care of that fight. And now here comes the rest of Smash Bar just coming in and starting to decimate some of the health bars of death guards. It's going to be a double kill of 4-0 already in this fight. And now Jernigan flashing forward here onto Banana Uyu, zoning this member away so much of this fight. The Arcane Shift already used, can't get back over the wall, and Jernigan's just going to slam that blade with the World Ender and take care of that game. Axify goes down. It's coming up here shortly. As we start to see some of the push in, grouping mid, Mirth going in. That's a 3-man Magnet Storm coming in as well as the collateral damage. It's going to be a shutdown for Banana Uyu here as well. But no, it looks like it's going to get turned around here from Smash Barn. It's a double kill already for Jernigan as all of these ultimates continue to get popped. Manju is dominating now on the Anivia, and so much damage is just unleashed. Mirth now trying to just wait here for a little while longer, but Smash Barn is going to be looking to go ahead and ravage the base, and they have their eyes set on the Nexus.
And it was a great engage by Mirth. He just had so much CC coming down, but then there was no tanky member of Death Cards to follow it up. He just got taken out of the fight, and then the back line of Death Cards got engaged on. And as we see GG's coming out in the chat, we do see Smash Barn taking this game and taking the series 3-0.
Taking the series, and they are going to be your PRL Novice 2021 Winter Split